Yeah, so guys, let me quickly tell you something. Do you know during the slave trade, there is a market where slaves are being sold, this market is known as Vleke slave market in Badagry. This market is where captured slaves are being sold to the foreigners. And at that time, there is nothing like money, like physical money, because some of us may be wondering the amount some of these slaves are being sold. So at that moment, there's nothing like physical money. There's nothing like dollar. There's nothing like naira. There's nothing like pounds. So these slaves are being exchanged with items. So some of the items these slaves are being exchanged with gun. Some of the items that worth nothing, like gun, umbrella, pot, spoon, plate. So these are some of the items slaves are being exchanged then, with for instance, imagine your grandfather or your forefathers being exchanged with ordinary plates. So these are kind of things when you start reasoning about these things, we start feeling what our forefathers felt then. Just watch this video. So this is a Vleke slave market where captured slaves are being sold. Just watch this video and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.
Okay. So we have over here we have part of a man spotted a British slave merchant spotted in slave ship in the slave era, heading towards Badagry to carry slaves. So that's what's happening over there. And over here we have King Mewu, a crown of Badagry.
Who was King
Mewu, a slave trader.
Okay.
A slave trader. So he was discussing with the Europeans.
Okay.
You can see the Europeans picture here, and these are our own chiefs.
Okay, face it here instead. Okay.
So these are our own chiefs, and this discussion they have over here now led to what happened here.
Okay.
So the king now gave them portion of land over there in Gberefu. That is the point of no return.
Okay.
So to build their camp.
Okay.
So each European country with their camp.
Okay.
So for example, you see England.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
No. Let him finish this one.
Okay.
So, for example, the English, England, all those in Spain with their camp. So each different country with their camp. So and over here we have Badagry warlord Posu. The man Posu.
Okay. Badagry warlord Posu.
Baba has told you about Posu over there before.
Okay.
So Posu, he led an attack on Port Novo around 1783. So to capture slaves. So and these slave boat in Ketonu, Benin Republic. So over here we have slave tunnel in Ganho quarters, Badagry.
Okay.
So this is the slave tunnel.
Okay.
So and over here we have the Badagry slave port, which was established in 1510. So this is the spirit attenuation where on the way to the point of no return.
Yes. Okay.
So the water they gave them to lose their memory or to make them less aggressive. So, and this King Adele of Lagos, who took asylum in Badagry around 1821 to 1835, after he was dethroned by his own brother.
Okay.
So, and this Topa, that is port, was named after the king. That is Adele Topa, popularly called Badagry Waterfront now.
Okay.
So, and over here we have Thomas Jefferson Bowen, the man who saw some slaves being marching from the suburb of Muwo, Badagry. So he now later reports that, and this is the arrival of Hugh Clapperton and Richard Lander to Badagry. So they have been welcomed by Badagry chiefs. The man that was tried outside, Hugh Clapperton and Richard Lander, this is their arrival.
Okay.
So over here, this is the Portuguese now reporting the arrival of Richard Lander and Hugh Clapperton to the then king.
Okay.
So reporting them that they are British spy, this and that.
Okay.
So
what of the one down here?
So this is Nigeria colonial town of Badagry, one of the African first slave ports that was established in 1851.
Okay.
So this over here, we have the main purpose Richard Lander visited Badagry is to propagate a legitimate trade around it. After the signing of the abolition treaty in 1807 in Europe.
Okay.
So that is the main purpose it was in Badagry.
Okay.
So that's what they are discussing over there. And over here we have a tank crier. You know, in olden days, is you hit metal gun to pass information to the people. So that is what is happening here now.
Okay.
So in 1888, this guy here is hitting the gong, passing information to the people of Badagry that there is no more slavery in Badagry land.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Okay.
All right, so over here, we have some things that are used in capturing slaves. Okay. We have the shambets, we have the chains, we have the African drums, and some pictures that talks about how they capture them. Over here, the shambets were used by the slave hunters.
Okay.
So they use this shambet to invoke some spirits on themselves, because when they wear this shambet, they believe they will have some, spiritual power, and they will drink some concoction with a special cup over there. So over there, we have the original slave chain and the liquor. The liquor is the gin that they use in exchange of human being. So all these things over here are medium of exchange. Why we have the African tallest drum. So over here we have the tallest drum in Africa. So this drum were usually beat by the stick workers. They call them innigeria in Yoruba language. The stick workers, and this drum, all the carvings on them are depicting the pre-colonial era down to the slave trade era. So all the carvings, you'll be seeing them. These are some of our men, These are people on the water sailing the boats. These are your masquerade.
Okay.
We have them, we have the Oba. And this is the transatlantic triangular slave trade. So all this carving is talking about the events from the pre-colonial era down to the transatlantic slave trade era. You can see from the transatlantic slave trade era, there's no much events that took place anymore. So, and over here we have how the slaves were being, transferred from the hinterland down to the slave market. From Oyo, Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, and the rest. And over here we have the needless, victim of the needless during the transatlantic triangular slave trade. These are some slaves. And over here we have the Voduno, that's the chief priest of the Vlekete shrine, performing some rituals for the slaves before they went back on the journey through the Atlantic Ocean. The shrine itself is a goddess of winds, ocean, and prosperity. So this is how they appeased the goddess before they went back on the journey. And over here, this was how Samuel Ajayi Crowther was captured in his own town called Oshogun, that's present Oyo State, in 1821. So let's move down to slave market around the world. So these are sugarcane plantation. How they were
Slave market.
plantation.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is a cannon gun. You will always see cannon gun at all the slave market around the world, because it serves as protection to the slave market. So they use this in fighting against the people that used to attack the slave market. Like we have the neighboring country like the Benin Republic and the rest. So let's move to the dungeon where the unsold slaves will be kept pending the slave market day.
Dungeon.
Yeah, so we're in the dungeon now. You can imagine the smell.
Yes.
So this is the original site, original dungeon. It's not a replica. These stairs are replicas, right?
Yes.
Because we just want a mix of tourists to get access to this place. So, but then they use a ladder to put them down to this place. So, and about 100 slaves will be here at a time.
This small place.
I'm telling you, no ventilation. They all defecate here. And if they don't survive, they die, and they throw them. You know, we have waters around, or they do a mass burial for them. So these are slaves. So these are guard slaves, especially the stubborn ones. They use guard for them, for them not to communicate or plan against their masters. And over here, also this one, it serves is a guard too, because if they escape, if they padlock this shackle, if they are running, even the trees will not allow them to go faster, because this arrow will be, disturbing how they are escaping. So that is the purpose why they put these shackles.
Okay.
So we are just putting 4 of these sculptures here to see how.
But this one does not have any of those things.
And maybe it's a camp slave.
Okay.
All of them can be an aggressive slaves. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll move to the upper gallery where we see the slave dealers.
Yeah, so I guess we all have seen with our eyes, sometimes watching all these things gives you memory of what our late fathers, our late grandfathers, forefathers, what they passed through, So this is like a slave market where those grandfathers are being sold, and some of these people now are in other foreign land today, So the purpose of all these videos is not to cause a negativity or controversy, but is for educational purpose, so you will really understand what happened during the slave trade, So mind you, this video is originally created by one of the content creator, MARIAM OYAKHILOME, So guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thank you for watching.